Jujutsu Kaisen's new movie Jujutsu Kaisen 0 has introduced anime watchers to the series' second protagonist of Sword, Yuta Okkotsu. So how does he stack up to the rest of the Jujutsu Kaisen's already powerful cast? Even before the movie aired, we had already heard of Okkotsu in the anime. In the lead up to the Kyoto Goodwill event, we are introduced to Aoi Todo and Mai Zenin from the Kyoto Jujutsu school. Todo specifically asks why Okkotsu won't be competing and ends up fighting Megumi Fushiguro partially out of frustration that Okkotsu wouldn't be competing. Supposedly, the previous year's events have been dominated by Okkotsu, which already clued us in just how strong he was, but now we know exactly what makes him so threatening. Jujutsu Kaisen has been building up the legend of Yuta Okkotsu throughout the anime and manga releases, so now is the perfect time to break down what this character really is. Yuta is the fourth second year at Tokyo Jujutsu High alongside Panda, Maki Zenin and Toge Inumaki. He is haunted by a special grade curse just like Yuji, who was actually his childhood friend Rika. She died in a tragic car accident and became an incredibly powerful special grade curse spirit. She haunted Yuta for many years, which caused him to grow up as an insecure and shy teen. Itadori and Yuta are similar in the sense that they both have a powerful curse that they must learn to control or many people are gonna die. After transferring to Tokyo Jujutsu High, Yuta learned the ropes of being a Jujutsu sorceress. He is ranked as a special grade sorceress because of Rika's monstrous powers. Although even without Rika, he is still very powerful since he is a descendant of a famous spirit. The first thing his classmates noticed about him when they meet is the immense amount of cursed energy that he emits. Okkotsu is stated to have almost infinite cursed energy, even more than the strongest character in the series, Satoru Gojo. As cursed energy is the source of all abilities in Jujutsu Kaisen, this means there's almost no limit to Okkotsu's ability to boost his own strength, speed and durability, even beyond that of the physically gifted Yuji Itadori. He can also imbue his weapons with the cursed energy, making them do even more damage as well. All that cursed energy would be useless if he didn't know how to use it though. Luckily, Okkotsu ends up developing several ways to manipulate his energy beyond physical enhancement. Most critically is his ability to use reverse curse technique, an exceedingly rare skill and technique that allows him to heal himself and allies by turning his negative energy into positive one. Very few Jujutsu sorcerers and curse spirits have access to this ability, and even fewer of them can use it for healing purposes. Yuta was a very timid and lonely boy who was bullied a lot while growing up. Due to Rika haunting much of his early life, Yuta was unable to connect with other people and has lost all of his confidence in himself. This makes it difficult for Yuta to interact with others as they often scare him without meaning to. Even so, Yuta genuinely cares about other people and decided to isolate himself from them even if it means remaining alone. Maki Zenin called out Yuta out for being a moody kid who's lived his entire life without goals. He acknowledged that this was true and he used this advice to gain a resolve to being a powerful Jujutsu sorceress. Gaining friends helps Yuta gain confidence in himself and establish the goal to help set Rika free. He felt responsible for her turning into a curse in the first place and worked extremely hard to find a way to help her. He pushed himself during training and took all of his friends and mentors' word to heart, showing a more determined side of himself. At his core, Yuta wants to become someone who can help others out of danger. The end of Jujutsu Kaisen 0 prequel raised some questions about Yuta's current abilities as his cursed spirit. The trapped Rika Orimoto has passed on to the next life, yet he seemingly still had access to her and his other powers seen in the prequel. As the newest chapter of the series demonstrates, he still indeed can summon a version of Rika. There's a twist in this however, as the Rika who fights by his side seems to be an extension of his inherent copy curse technique that has copied Rika and her various boosts. Okkotsu can also seemingly copy the cursed abilities of others as he is shown to be able to use his classmates Toge Inumaki's powerful curse speech ability. This brings into question the limit of what he can copy. He might be able to replicate other powerful abilities as well, such as Fushigoro's 10 Shadows or even Gojo's Limitless. Considering that Gojo believes Okkotsu might be able to surpass him one day, it's really possible that he might be able to copy all of the technique present in the story. When the fight in the Sendai colony first began in the previous chapters, it was revealed that Yuta only needed 3 months following the end of the prequel to work his back up to the special grade status and have unusual abilities on par with Satoru Gojo. It is explained in chapter 178 that Rika now works as Yuta's curse technique rather than the spirit from before. This Rika has stayed with Yuta after Orimoto's passing and stored cursed energy for him. When connecting through his engagement ring, Yuta can channel the full extent of his techniques for 5 minutes. This connection now gives him not only the access to copied curse techniques that he has in his arsenal, but a fully fleshed out Rika Shikigami and a greater pool of cursed energy. In short, unbeatable. Just as seen in the prequel, Yuta's copy abilities are going to be the most dangerous weapons in his arsenal, and it seems like he has become a special grade in the year since the prequel by using those copy abilities to essentially copy himself in his prime. It's not just about the curse techniques and cursed energy, but Yuta has also grown into a very capable close quarter combatant who is more than comfortable engaging in his opponents up close. He generally throws single powerful smashing blow that can crush his opponent in a single move. A merry front kick to Yuji's sternum was enough to send him reeling back, and one backhand from Yuta knocked out Choso. Yuta employs hand-to-hand combat consistently against extraordinary opponents in the Kyulin game. He uses his katana to disarm Kuroishi before hitting the special grade cockroach curse with a powerful back fist. Yuta fought the early stages of his battle with Takako Yuro and Ryu Ishigori entirely barehanded against their powerful curse techniques. While Jujutsu Kaisen 0 only shows the beginning of Okkotsu's journey, he's recently reappeared in the manga, giving readers insight into just how much he has grown. Not only is he more confident in his abilities, but he is also apparently capable of domain expansion, although we don't know yet what his domain expansion would be. Considering his ability to copy techniques, it might very well be a domain designed to perfectly counter other domains, making him even harder to defeat. When you take all of his abilities into account, it's no wonder that Yuta Okkotsu is one of the only 4 Jujutsu sorcerers to achieve the rank of special grade. And considering that in his first year he defeats one of the other 3, and his teacher is another. And that's why he might easily become the strongest character in all of the Jujutsu Kaisen series. And I think that's for today's video, guys. That was a video about Yuta Okkotsu, what are his powers, history, past, his curse technique, energy, and all of the things that you need to know about Yuta Okkotsu. What are your thoughts about this video? Let me know about your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories, and all sorts of anime content on daily basis. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it. And I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.